What's good, Planet Pokey? Sorry I've been gone for a while, but I was trying to go ahead and find a good match for you guys that I could bring into you, and I brought a great match this time around. I think you guys will really enjoy this match. As you can see, I'm running a sand team, and my opponent is running a rain team, unfortunately, which rain kind of counters sand a little too nicely, in my opinion. But oh well. So for the comment question is, what's your favorite ability in Pokemon, and state your reasoning why. Mine is Magic Guard because you don't take indirect damage, which is great. Prevents entry hazards and life orb damage and all that. But let's get to the battle. So yeah, he led off with Terrakion, I led off with Jellicent. He's going to switch. We actually probably were both predicting each other's weather leads to come in, chances are, and so that's nice that basically I got a little bit of advantage. And then he's going to put the Toxic, trying to Toxic my Jellicent, which is, of course, the worst status that a wall can have because Toxic slowly racks up. Instead, he's going to Toxic my Volcarona, and if he is going to Toxic anything, my Volcarona is probably the best one because it's a Chesto rest set, which means, basically, it can rest up after it gets a couple Quiver Dances and then, start taking stuff down. So now he's going to switch into Politoed, expecting me to go for the Fire Blast after getting up one Quiver Dance, but, I get up another Quiver Dance because I thought maybe the Bronzong was going to stay in and do stuff. I don't know. It would have been nice if he did, honestly, but he didn't, so oh well. So now Politoed's in. I'm going to just go ahead and Bug Buzz because I don't want Politoed anymore. And that means I am going to eventually end up winning the Weather War because his Politoed's gone and I still have my Tyranitar. My Tyranitar hasn't even been in. Now he's going to bring in his Dragonite. I'm just going to go for that rest since I am a Chesto rest set. Heal off the Toxic and heal myself up all the way, of course. And then he's going to go for the Roost, expecting me to, of course, go straight for the damage. And I go for the Quiver Dance because I figured this might have been a Dragon Dance set. But turns out it's a phasing set, which is a rather annoying Dragonite to run into, essentially. And basically, the Flame Body Hacks activates for me, which is pretty great, pretty awesome. Because that means now he's not going to be at full health. Unfortunately, this is not my Jellicent with Ice Beam. It's my Jellicent with Shadow Ball instead. Rather disappointing on that, but, I mean, what are you going to do? So I decided to bring in Tyranitar because Tyranitar is the best thing that can take this. And he goes for the Thunder Wave, which means he's a Parashuffler, which is probably the most annoying set of Dragonite, chances are. Because, yeah, I just don't like the Parashuffler set. And I almost brought a Rapid Spinner to this match, too, which I should have, but I didn't, because I don't know. I didn't think I needed one, but it turns out I did. So I set up my Stealth Rocks so that when this Dragonite comes in, it's going to start taking Stealth Rock damage as well, and some of his team's actually pretty weak to Stealth Rocks, so this is actually going to be rather beneficial to me. Unfortunately, this Tyranitar is not carrying the Ice Beam like most other Tyranitars do, which means I was forced to use Crunch and hope for the defense drop. And yeah, he gets a crit, but crit doesn't really matter too much. And so he brains in my Zapdos accidentally, which I know I can take him out with the Thunderbolt, which is great. I mean, get rid of the Thunderbolt. Bye-bye. So yeah, that gets rid of the Thunderbolt nice and easily. Nice and easily. I like it. And now he's going to bring in a Porygon Z, which since I don't see the download, it means it's adaptability. Some people decide to run download instead. So that kind of sucks because I only have a couple things that can take this adaptability nicely, and he's obviously going to keep switching out. And that's obviously a Scarfed Porygon Z. Pretty clear on that, which I'm guessing this Terrakion's Scarfed also, so I'm not really sure why he's running two Scarfers. So I'm going to go for the Superpower. Thinking he might leave in Porygon Z. I don't know. I don't know why I thought that, but unfortunately, yeah, Bulky Rotom is bulky, and Bulky Rotom's kind of a pain to deal with, but not too badly. If I had actually thought here, if I actually thought about it, I could have switched in Volcarona and had his Pain Split actually end up hurting him instead of it hurting me, which, yeah, looking back, I probably should have made that prediction. That's one of the over-predictions I probably should have gone for, but I didn't. He hits the Hydro Pump and, unfortunately, is going to go ahead and, freaking get the para hacks, which I was gonna go for the crunch anyway. And right here, I thought about sacking my Terrakion just all the way, and I honestly probably should have, because what I'm about to do now was kind of a stupid play. So I crunch as he switches out with the Volt Switch into his Bronze Zone. And here I thought he was gonna, I don't know, I thought he was gonna set up dual screens or something because he saw a chance to do it. So I decided to bring in my Volcarona, and he goes for the Gyro Ball, which means I lose my Volcarona. I could have potentially rested off the damage. Of course, then Volcarona would have been a just setup fodder, unfortunately. So that sucks, and that's why I almost brought a Rapid Spinner, was for Volcarona, because clearly Volcarona is going to have some weakness. So essentially, he goes for the Toxic as I set up the sub, so that's nice. And right here, I should have noticed that this burn wasn't doing as much damage as it should be. So I should have known that it was heat-proof, so I wouldn't have even needed to go for this Smackdown. And he goes for the Gyro Ball, and of course, gets a freaking critical hit. Like, this was a pretty hacksy match, not going to lie. I almost thought about setting up another sub, but I wasn't sure if he was going to go for the Gyro Ball again or the Toxic. I wasn't exactly sure. So I just went for the straight Earthquake since I have him on the ground anyway, even though he does not have Levitate because he's probably heat-proof. And I get a crit, which the crit may have mattered since Bronze Zone is pretty bulky. Again, it might not matter, though, because it's Sand Force. So if I had been smart and set up a sub, this Porygon Z wouldn't have had anything to basically easily switch into, because I would have had a sub, and he probably would have brought in Terrakion, and it would have been a lot better in the long run. But I did this match late at night, so I wasn't thinking the best. I mean, I was thinking, as you can see, because I'm doing pretty good, but I wasn't thinking the best. So he's going to switch out the Porygon Z, knowing that he was going for the Tri-Attack, so I sent in my Jellicent and go for the Scald. And I was really hoping for the Burn Hex, really honestly was. And I don't get it, which is okay, because it turns out I actually carry the Toxic on this Jellicent anyway, so that's good. And he goes for the Wasp, which on a wall is not like that big of a deal, especially when it's going to be using special attacks as its attack to get some damage down on. So this Rotom I essentially have, and I know he's obviously going to go for the Volt Switch because he's shown to me that he doesn't have Thunderbolt. He only has Volt Switch. So that shows to me that this Rotom easily is counterable. And I take the Volt Switch quite nicely because I'm a special wall. I mean, like, nicely for it being a super effective attack. And I go for the Recover, and for whatever reason, he brings in the Terrakion. Not honestly sure why. But the problem is, since I am specially defensive, I'm not going to take this Rock Slide too well. And I was hoping that I did not get the flinch, which I don't, which is great. So I get off the Scald and get the burn, which is absolutely fantastic for me. I love it. I love it. But unfortunately, since I am burned, I am going to die. I might have lived. There is a slight chance that I might have lived had I not been at that low HP. But unfortunately, since I was burned, I was at that low HP. Oh well. So I decided to bring in Landorus. And he's going to go for the Rock Slide. And I thought this was going to be an easy KO. But of course, he would get the flinch. And that really sucks because that means I take more damage now. And he's going to bring in Rotom. I honestly probably should have predicted this and gone straight for the sub, because this Rotom's dead this turn anyway. And that would have been another smart play that I did not do, unfortunately. And, oh well. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't always make, like, the smart play. It's more in hindsight when you're like, I should have done that. And here I probably should have gone for a sub, too, because, I mean, that close combat didn't do crap. So yeah, there's so many opportunities that I could have set up a sub, and I just didn't do them. So oh well, what are you gonna do? So he brings in his adaptability, Porygon Z, and I'm like, I still got Alakazam, and I know I can take an adaptability Tri-Tech. So it's okay that I didn't go for all those subs because I'm gonna win anyway since I have Alakazam, and I was just gonna go for Psychic because that would be enough to KO it. But guess what's gonna happen? He's going to go for the Tri-Attack, get the Paralysis. I was hoping he didn't get the Parahacks for the first turn, but he did, unfortunately. So that's going to cost me the match. But all in all, it was a pretty good match. Should have been my game, but it wasn't because of that Parahax, but oh well. What are you going to do? That happens sometimes. So comment, like, and sub to Planet Pokey, and come check out my channel too. That'd be very great. And see you guys later.